Hey, morning people. How are you all doing? In this episode, I just realized last few weeks or so, I didn't do this morning thoughts episode. Sort of, that is one of my things that I do, and these are just like random topics, nothing to do with fragrances. But sometimes I do fragrance talk, community talk as well. So I want to talk about like random stuff, but mostly want to talk about is the importance of charity. Like you give, to people who need it. So you do what is the importance of charity, why you need to do it actually. So I want to talk about that because I was walking and that thought just came to me. So I talked about this thing before, I think a couple of months back in my channel once, but then it doesn't hurt to speak about it. I know a lot of people actually follow me and like this episode, so I'm doing it for you people, right? So first of all, scent of the morning. After a long time, I'm reaching for Jean Paul Gaultier La Male Essence. I have good memory with this. Just before I left Malaysia, I saw this one coming out. I think 2016. I think, yeah, 2016 it came out, and Mark, I think he bought it and then he just talked about it, and he's like, it's a great juice. And I think this was the first. This was the first day I bought it, in the first day of launch. It was Sogo shopping mall near the city center, and I believe I bought the very first bottle because I was waiting for the mall to open, and I just went straight to the counter. I paid full retail 500 ringgit to get this, and I got some free samples and stuff, so they couldn't believe I got it like so early. So anyway, this fragrance doesn't get so much love, but look at that bottle. I mean, look at that bottle. I mean, it's just a shame why it didn't get so much talk. You get the cardamom, beautiful lavender, and when you talk about lavender, it doesn't get lavenderish, like that. It's a very beautifully done, and I think the cardamom, lavender, as well as the leather. If you like La Nuit d'Homme and you like La Male line, perhaps you can take a look at it. Very upgraded modern fragrance for winter, okay? And it does last a long time. So another update I want to give you before I start this topic, that is I am planning to do a lot more reviews in upcoming days, and you will see a lot of rasasis. The rasasis being that, I'll just tell you one thing. Just showing you two fragrances from the Junoon line. I showed you this before. These are very premium perfumes, so no one talks about it, and these are from the female side. I'm gonna do also the male side, and the Musk line, the Borouge line. I'm gonna talk about the Indonesian Asrar. I got the two already. This one is like Tabriz, and this is like the Indonesia, the Asrar Indonesia. So I plan to do this line because good fragrances, great houses, they deserve talk and love. And people spend a lot of money on their niche fragrances, but you can get purity of oud and good quality perfumes from Middle Eastern countries. So yeah, it's a pleasure making these brands famous. All right, at least one of them anyway. And now let's hit the topic. Okay, today it's Bangladesh. It's about I think it's been drizzling for the first time in a long time. I think the winter is coming in full force. We have some storm going on in the some part of Bangladesh. I think it's mostly the coastal area where it's like it gets really like stormy and stuff. So when storms there, it drizzles in the city center, and the winter starts coming, and foggy little bit. And I really enjoy this kind of weather. Went for the morning walk, very nice weather. So I just thought just talk about this topic for a while. See, the thing is, we are from different class of community. Like we have middle class, we have lower middle income, and then higher class. So people have different earning source and different income level, and we all making some sort of living. And by the grace of God, we're all here. That's the first thing I would say. Like we are all here in today, and for every day we should just say thank God for giving us one more day, because life is so unpredictable. You can just perish just like that. So the thing is, everybody search for meaning of life. What is the purpose? I think there are a lot of answers to that question, but I try to find also, I think, when I walk. So when I see like Bangladesh, it's kind of like we have a third world country. We have a lot of poverty, a lot of poor people. You'll see beggars, like needy people. They are just everywhere. And the thing is, many people like here, many people help them. Like people. It doesn't matter if you're rich or you're middle class or poor. People help people because of few reasons. First of all, I think people help the needy because when you earn something, it's like a something that there is a right of poor in your income. That's what our religion said. And also I think I believe in my heart, because I'm not very religious in that terms, like, I'm not a very religious person. I don't pray 5 times a day, but I do believe a lot of things, like our religion says, and also from my heart I can see it matches. So what I'm trying to say is, when you actually make, let's say, $100, let's say, for a day's work, and you don't need the $100 by yourself. Actually, let's say out of the 100, $5 or so, like $10, another person who's less fortunate than you, who doesn't have a shelter, doesn't have a car, doesn't have clothing, proper clothing, they are just, living on the streets, in the slums, so these people, if you give them that $5 or $10, these people can actually use that money better. They can appreciate that money better, because they can eat the whole day. Maybe your costing is more, like as in you have much more things to do, but those could be luxury, unnecessary things. Like, let's say you're buying something that you don't want to use. You buy something, you just throw it, they just waste. You buy food, you don't eat it, even you just buy ice cream and whatnot, like a lot of things. But if you just cut that one luxury, even if you do not have to cut, because you always have spare money in your pocket. So if you have extra money, I think you give it to someone poor, let's say $2, $1, 50 cents, whatever, and 10 people give that one person. This person can eat the whole day, so the thing is, they will pray for you, they will give you their blessings, like, God. And God also watches, like, if you help people there, and he gets very happy with you, and then he gives you more success. And you would ask me how. I'm not a meditation guru or something, I'm not an inspirational talker, but I have seen this in my real life, and I believe in stuff that I really see. You have to believe the good things happen. There are invisible things, there are angels, there are demons around us. And when I see that, like when I'm going through some tough time and everything, sometimes, I have a small page. I run on my small page, and so far people have been very kind to me. I have a small Deccan page in Bangladesh. It's going good, alhamdulillah, and people support me, a lot of good-hearted people. And I think, like, when people are supporting me, small fraction of that I can actually spend on also, like, charity. So when you give, like, when I have spare cash, when I pass by, I see someone poor, like less, how do you say, fortunate, so I try to give them something. So the thing is, like, I think when you give, it makes you happy inside, because there is nothing more like pleasure, like worthy. How do you say, it doesn't give you any more pleasure than giving. When you give to someone, you see them happy, like you give gifts to other people, even if you're friends, family members, you give your mom or dad or sister, you see them happy, like you give your there's a baby in the house, let's say your niece or your own children, you give them something, they become very happy, they're like, so you give that happiness to someone, that is priceless. So for a fraction of a price, your hard-earned money you give to someone, it actually is sort of like a nice process. So we have this concept of zakat. Zakat in Islam means, we have 5 pillars in Islam, right? It's talking about religion. So we have, like, one of the pillars is called zakat. Zakat means, like, you do charity. So when you give zakat, in different countries, Islamic countries, they have different system. Sometimes, like Malaysia government, you can pay the zakat and you don't have to pay the tax. So they give you nice sort of substitution. You can choose tax or zakat. So either way you spend, it goes to people who need it more. So the thing is, it gives that nice sort of balance. There are a lot of rich people in Bangladesh. They are industrialists, very rich people. I see them, they like, there's some groups, I don't know what are the intention, but I always like to believe the good stuff first. So they feed poor people, like, every 2 to 3 days per week. A lot of people, like rickshaw pullers, beggars, people who are working, like poor people, they can just come and eat just for free. So the thing is, I think these things actually create sort of balance. That's how supposed to be a society functioning. It's a highly corrupted countries, I think, believe main reason is not lack of money or something. The main reason is there is no equitable distribution of wealth. That's why huge portion of people are poor and very small tiny portion is rich. So if these people paid their taxes, I know many rich people just skip taxes, they put bribe, and they skip huge taxes all over the world, not in my country only. Even footballers like Ronaldo and Messi, I heard them. I don't know if Ronaldo, but Messi did, I think, yeah. Anyway, so people do that, and when you do that, earn so much money and you have such a little heart, you just do not give your due, like your taxation, and you do not give it to charity. I think it has negative impact on society and on you as well, because if you think you're going to enjoy all the money in your world, now let's say you're super duper rich, I'm going to that, if you're like billionaire, but the thing is, can you take all the money to the grave, or can you eat all the money? No. If you share, you see, the most important part of the money is you being able to afford something, you try to buy something that others cannot have, you know. But when you actually make some other people happy, first thing you get is the blessing. You get much more successful. This is the blessing from God. Second thing I believe is when you give, you feel inside that, you know, you put little bit of cleanse. You just cleansed your heart a little bit, because we do a lot of sin every day. We lie. We cannot deny that we're not sinners. Human beings, we are sinners. So when you do something good, like a kind gesture or a kind deed, you helped a person on the street, they fell, and you just help them, take them to hospital. Little good things that go a long way. And you see, that's our society, you know, like chain reaction. If you make someone happy, they may be helping someone else. So the thing is, it gives like a nice sort of harmony. And if every society paid their due taxes and charity, I think there wouldn't be any poverty left. Unfortunately, that's not the case, but a lot of good people are there, and God watches. So I think what I'm trying to say in the end is, not to make it big story, but if you can spare few like bucks when you see someone less, you always find someone less fortunate. You cannot tell me there's a country there's no beggar or needy people. There are always people who are less fortunate. And one last thing before I say, before I go, that is, if you think that you are not happy in your life, look at your surroundings. Okay, I often do this for myself. Sometimes I'm not happy, you know, like other people have so many perfumes and stuff I do not have. Then I look at my collection, I'm like, oh no. I feel guilty, because at one point it was very difficult just to get one Dior fragrance, you know, because I didn't have that much income coming in. I was unemployed, and just to get a Fahrenheit or something like this fragrance, I'm sorry, it's a little bit dusty, but to get this fragrance, I had to really save up 1 month, 2 months just to buy this perfume, right? Now I have hundreds of perfumes and fragrances I'm reviewing. I am, you know, like fortunate enough to test a lot of fragrances, and anything and almost everything I can try. So look at around, you know, like people who are less fortunate, maybe someone has only 2 in their collection. So when you have 100, you know, count yourself lucky. And also people that, you know, they look very happy or rich or successful from outside, like you see someone in a nice car, you're on a rickshaw, or you're on a public transport, you might think those people in the car are happy, you know, they are in a nice car, you know, like expensive Mercedes or something. But maybe you don't know, inside that car those people may not be happy. Maybe their son is sick, or they have marriage problems, family problems, because when they're very rich people, they have very little happiness. This is what my experience so far have been. People say money cannot buy happiness. Sometimes it can, but it's just kidding. But when you actually see, money is not everything. Most important thing is happiness in your heart. So try to be a little bit charitable. Try to help a person next to you. Try to help especially poor and old people. You know, I like to give money to old and the ladies who are like cannot work, cannot walk, so they can give you blessing, and it will help you from a lot of dangers in life. You know, you might skip a bullet, right? You never know how life works. It's stranger than fiction. So anyway, today I may do another fragrance review later on. I'm getting Mancera Purple Flowers, which is from this line. Right? If you see this bottle, this kind of bottles, and I will definitely maybe talk about it, see, maybe today or tomorrow. So wait for those reviews coming in. Thanks for always supporting, and thanks for even supporting my page, my YouTube channel, and my Deccan page who are in Bangladesh. Actually, you are helping me to, you know, continue the work for my journey as well as my country. So I hope to see you soon. Everybody have a nice day, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.